Think for yourself. Good morning. Welcome back to the trailer park. I am Chanda-Masta, and this is Hello Monday. Even though every day feels like a Monday lately. You guys know I haven't taken a day off this year, literally this year, because I had a resolution that I was going to hit it harder. I was going to get our sub count up because, we're so squashed and shadow banned. And I was going to get the Discord launched, which I did. And I was going to get moved into a new studio, which Oz is currently working on. If you joined us Saturday night, we were in the new studio. A little bumpy, but Oz did an amazing job. It looks great. We're upgrading from live stream studios to vMix, which these are two of the hardest virtual studios. So kudos to Oz. He did a great job, especially with only 24 hours of playing around in that studio. I haven't actually installed, well, I installed it, but I haven't set mine up yet. I'm kind of waiting. Oz will get the main one set up and then just copy the attributes and send it to me. That way I don't have to do any work. How is everybody this morning? Let me get these chats pulled up. Kick, you're so funny. Google will not let me go to Kick without telling me that the site is suspicious and click here if I want to continue. Like, oh, Google, I'm so glad you have my back. What would I do without you watching out for me? What would we do? Let's pull some of these X. We're out on Twex. I'm going to just call it Twex from now on. And I've noticed we've been getting some views on the Twex. So let's see. Sometimes Oz's channel gets more views. Sometimes mine gets more views. It's so weird. Okay, so I am in my Twex. I'm not in the Land of Oz, but the Land of Oz is live. Let's see. Did you guys join me last night? Oh my gosh, we had such a great show. I had Jesse Jet on. He sang to me. How sweet. Oh my God. Just the sweetest. I love Jesse. He's fucking brilliant. He's genius when it comes to his lyrics and putting into words how we feel and what we're living through. So if you didn't watch it last night, I know it was Sunday night. It was late. People were Netflixing and chilling. That's cool. But go watch the replay on it. It was a little over an hour. He covered some of my favorite songs. You guys know I love DSAI. And he's just such a blast. I mean, we laughed the whole time. And tonight, I got Jamie Deluxe. So join me tonight at 10 Pacific or Eastern time, 7 Pacific. And we're going to hang out with the Jamie Deluxe. If you've never seen Jamie Deluxe's content, he really isn't on YouTube as much anymore because YouTube has been brutal to him. I mean, I would say he probably had a channel with 50K followers and they crushed it. They take all of his content down. They've taken his channel from him. I think 2 times. He's on his second or third channel. You can always find his stuff on Rokfin and Rumble from what I understand, but Jamie does some really good research and deep dive into some of the topics we're always talking about. Of course, Epstein, child trafficking, Hollyweird, and just how fucked up they are. He used to do this segment where he go read page 6, like when they do was it Crazy Days and Nights? Anyways, they give you clues as to something that happened, and he would go do the research and figure out who the fuck they were talking about. Like, I don't know, like Hotel California. What was that song really about? Well, you'll have to go over and watch Jamie's channel if you really want to know. He does some really good deep dives into Pedogate and yeah, Jamie came across my radar and I found him just before Epstein got arrested, I want to say. I already knew that about Epstein when Epstein got arrested the second time because of people like Jamie Deluxe. So that'll be a fun show tonight. And he's just a cool dude. His opening says, I say fuck a lot and I accept myself for the way I am. And I accept you too. That's what I love about him. He's just real. He's real. He's like we are, man. The trailer park. We are real. What's up, chats? Oh my gosh, all the chats are going off. I don't know what was up with the Rumble this morning, or the Rokfin. I fixed it, but the keys just disappeared. I went to log in and I was like, whoa, where's the Rumble? So Rumble's up and running, or Rokfin's up and running. It looks good. Hey, Kate. Hey, Lynn. I see you guys. Jim's hanging out on the Rokfin along with Fred Edwards and Popeye. Hi, Popeye. Thank you, Fred, so much for getting the link shared out. I hope you're feeling better. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Shout out to Natalie. Natalie, I hope you're feeling better too. There's some kind of bug going around. You guys like my tool background? I have to go with the dark background so my screen doesn't glitch. And yeah, it looks like a Tool album cover to me. Let's shout out the Rumble. Who's on the Rumble? Oh, hi, Kick. Hi, Kick. We have viewers on the Kick. We appreciate the viewers on the Kick. Kick looks great, too. It's a great platform. I'm trying to get to Rumble. Come on. There we go. Corky82 is over there along with Ghost Start. Hi, Ghost Start. How is everybody? Okay, let's get to the YouTube. YouTube, we got Cowboy Kitty hanging out and Kurt Boss. Good to see ya. Mastermind Hour is here along with Salty's Digital Dive. Hey, Salty, what's up? Aram, so glad to see ya. P-Stuff. Hi, P-Stuff. Hi, Steve Guy. What's up? Who else is in here? Popeye. Popeye's everywhere. I see you, Popeye. And you guys keep cracking me up over on the Discord. Keep dropping the memes. If you haven't joined the Discord, the link will get dropped in the chat, I'm sure, a couple of times today. We have a blast over there. There's multiple channels. We have the music channel, so any music that's getting played on any of our shows, I'm dropping over there. We've got the Meme Alley. If you got good memes, drop them. You guys know I'm a meme boss. I didn't mean to be, but I've turned into one. Hey, Rick, good to see you. Of course, Kate's hanging out over there, too. And Cold Fusion. Cold Fusion's holding down the fort for me on my Discord. Thank you so much. Bad Cookies. Good to see you. Oh, Trailer Park Pundit's here. I'll see that. You know, my Rokfin will not let you change. Jilly, I was laying in bed last night thinking, I haven't seen Jilly in a day or two. I wonder if Jilly's okay. So I'm glad to see you in the chat because you know me. I feel like I have a million children and I have to check on all of you if I don't see you. So you were going to get a DM today if I didn't see you in the chat. So I'm glad you're in the chat and doing well. Oh, Aram, you're hanging out over on the Rokfin too. Rokfin will not let you change your handle. So you guys know when I originally started this, I didn't start out to be this or do any of this. I was an activist who kept getting asked to come on people's shows and talk about what I was seeing on the ground and experiencing. So my first original handle and show was The Accidental Activist, which was a fun show. I brought activists in from all over. And I did kind of like, this is your life. Like, I would go snoop through all of their social media. I would find pictures, whatever. And then I would, we'd sit down and talk for an hour and a half, whatever. So I got Shama Sawant was a great one. I love doing fees. I mean, getting to learn who Fee was and about Fee. But there's so many great activists. They're still up on Rokfin over on the Roar Media if you want to check them out. And there's a lot of good information in there, things you didn't know about people, right? So that's if you see me pop up as accidental activist, a lot of people don't recognize me. I am the accidental activist and the Trailer Park Pundit, just so you know. Fair use. We are on the YouTubes for what it's fucking worth. These are just my opinions and criticisms. And my form of news reporting. So if you are interested in anything I talk about, please go do your own research because I merely scratch the surface because we go through 75, 80 slides a day. I am not doing deep dives up for you guys, but you guys can go deep dives and then you'll get called a conspiracy theorist and they'll tell you it's not true. We know, yada, yada. We know how it goes. I got to give some huge thanks out for all of the amazing super chats that we got on Saturday night. I want to pull these up. Chris Foster, thank you so much. And Kate and the Crazy Puppet and Robert Templeton and who else? Jax Page and Becca C and Choosy Heretics, Choose Carnation, Revolution. I think that's what it is. I can't see the whole thing. And Steve Wolfbrant and Hobbs45. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. We haven't been paid on the YouTube in a couple of months because we got to make money. and so, yay, next month we'll actually be able to cover the bills in February. I'm super excited for it. You guys keep this machine going, and without you, we don't keep going. And speaking of going, you guys are sending me to network with Jimmy Dore. I'm so excited. I'm just humbled by your guys' support and encouragement to get out there and to network with people like this. Who the fuck am I? I'm some chick in a trailer park. What am I doing going to hanging out and talking to people like Jimmy Dore? Actually, you guys know I'm only going for stuff. But if you want to help me out with my travel fund, we've got almost everything covered. We have got the hotel and the tickets covered. Now I just got to cover, plane, trains, and automobiles. I got to take a bus 100 miles to a ferry to a taxi. So it's quite the adventure anytime I leave home. But your guys' help helps me get there. So thank you so much for supporting me. Of course, like always, all the links are in the chat. You can hit the link tree. It's got all of the links in there. And Thank you guys so much for your confidence in me. Sometimes I feel like I'm not worthy. You get that imposter syndrome, right? I definitely get that. Like, who the hell am I to be in this space? And you guys can always hit my buy me a coffee. I think I'm only one coffee away from getting paid. So that's always good news. Yay. They have these thresholds on most of these platforms. So you got to make so much before you get paid. That's just bullshit. That's just them holding your money so they can get interest, right? That's what I think it is. Here's the card from last night. Like I said, Jesse was an amazing guest. He's such a good friend and such a kind-hearted guy all the way through and through. Just love me some Jesse Jet. So go check out his album Live from the Black Site. If you haven't already, you guys here, I told him, I'm like, anytime you drop anything, Jesse, it's on my channel the next day. Absolutely. Okay, let's get this shit show started. We got lots to talk about, so much to talk about. I write these shows. I was so busy yesterday trying to get everything done and grab everything that's relevant, right? But I get up super early the morning of, so that way I'm not missing anything that's relevant. I try to get you guys cutting edge info. So let's start out with Pelosi wants the FBI to investigate pro-Palestine protesters for financial ties to, wait for it, Russia. Russia, Russia, Russia. Here we go again. For them to call for a ceasefire is Mr. Putin's message. Make no mistake, this is directly connected to what he would like to see, the former House Speaker said. Oh, God. People want a ceasefire in Gaza are Russian secret agents. Okay, Grandma, time for term limits. Oh, my God, term fucking limits. Let's listen to what she had to say. Okay, so yesterday she went and did the State of the Union over on CNN. Oh my gosh, mainstream media. Die already.
They're in front of my house all the time. So I have a feeling for what feelings they have. But we have to think about what we're doing. And what we have to do is try to stop the suffering in Gaza. This is women and children
that we're
people
causing.
Don't have a place to go. So let's address that. But for them to call for a ceasefire is Mr. Putin's message.
Oh.
Mr. Putin's message. Make no mistake, this is directly connected to what he would like to see. Same thing with Ukraine. It's about Putin's message. I think some of these protesters are spontaneous and organic and sincere. Some, I think, are connected to Russia. And I say that having looked at this for a long time now. As
you think some of these protests are Russian plants?
These are plants. I think some financing should be investigated. And I want to ask the FBI to investigate that.
God damn it. Putin still hasn't sent me my check. I have worked for Russia for 9 years now without pay. Somebody get a hold of Putin. Let him know that my paycheck has been rerouted. It has not shown up and I would like to get paid. I saw a survey somewhere that said, who would you rather ruled the United States? And it had Biden, Harris, somebody else, and Putin. And Putin fucking won, hands down. And it was thousands of votes, too. It wasn't like 200 votes. It was like 10,000 votes. And it was like 90-some% wanted Putin. Like, that's America, but Russia, Russia, Russia. Ugh, it's so gross. So gross. The Russia thing never will die. It will never go away. We told you this in 2016, right? Because they started out, when did we first see the Russia blaming, right? Okay, I'll tell you exactly. It was February of 2016 when they said that first they said the Bernie campaign had hacked the DNC, right? Remember when they fucked up and they accidentally sent out like their data? They were supposed to send it to Bernie, but then they sent it all out and they didn't mean to send that much. They blamed that shit on Russia. And we were like, Russia? I thought we were friends with Russia. Why all of a sudden are we picking on fucking Russia? And then it just snowballed as we got into that summer and the WikiLeaks and oh my God, right? And that's where it came from. It started out inside the Democratic Party during the primary in 2016. And then, of course, they shoved this shit down our throat that Russia hacked the DNC. That was the talking point come November of 2016, which we absolutely know is complete and utter horse shit. Horse shit. Russia did not hack the DNC. The DNC was downloaded. It was leaked. Yeah, there's a total difference. These Democrats, they keep going around and doing the rounds. I've been bringing you guys clips for the last 2 weeks of them talking about how, oh, we need to protect the women and children of Gaza. We don't know how to do that. They act like they don't know how to do it. Bernie fucking Sanders, like, oh, we have a humanitarian crisis. Yeah, because you keep sending bombs and money over there, weapons. That's how this works. They act so shocked. John Fetterman, he's another one that's out there, got to support Israel. Well, he got called out this weekend, and I love it. We got to keep calling these guys out just like this.
Fetterman, you can't hide! You're supporting genocide!
Fetterman, you can't hide! You're supporting genocide!
Fetterman, you can't hide! You're supporting genocide! Fetterman, you can't hide! You're supporting genocide! Fetterman, you can't hide! You're supporting genocide!
Yes, he was standing on the roof with that Israeli flag. And God, those fucking Russian agents, they're everywhere. Did you see how many were down there yelling at Fetterman? I don't know how they let so many Russians in this country. They must be coming in over the southern border. That's the only thing I could think. I hate terrible chants. You will hear some terrible chants out there, but you know what? Fetterman deserves to be called out, and I'm glad he is. We warned you about Fetterman over and over and over. We warned you about the Progressive Squad over and over and over, but we are so looking for a hero in this goddamn country that will take anything that comes along resembling somebody who wants to fight for the people, right? All they have to say is, I fight for the people. Do you see the one where Nikki Haley was out last week telling everybody that she is chosen by the people and she's fighting back against the corporate machine? Yeah. Okay, Icky, if you say so. I see Oz beat me and got this meme on the Beauty and the Boomer deck. I thought I'd snuck it over to the TPP deck, and no, he got it too. Biden and Kamala Harris, they are the Beavis and Butthead. Let's hear what Harris had to say this weekend. This is gross too.
Must do more to protect innocent civilians. We've been very clear, humanitarian aid must flow. From day one, I will tell you, one of my areas of priority included, let's think about the day after, because we must stay focused on an eventual two-state solution.
Well, having said that, I want to tell you something which I'm sure you're well aware of, that Bibi Netanyahu, Prime Minister Netanyahu, recently said. He rejected U.S. calls to scale back Israel's military action in the Gaza Strip or to support a Palestinian state after the war. He even said that Israel, quote, must have security control over the entire territory west of the Jordan River, which includes Gaza. So given those positions, how can you possibly come together? How can the U.S. and Israel come together to solve this? And should aid to Israel be conditional?
So I'll start with the principles that we are applying to this discussion, which we've been very clear with the Israeli government about. One, as it relates to the day after, there should be no reoccupation of Gaza. There should be no changing of the territorial boundaries of Gaza. That the Palestinians are entitled to, in equal measure with Israelis, security and prosperity.
Doesn't sound like Bibi Netanyahu agrees with that.
We're the United States of America. I'm telling you our position. And we take our role in this discussion very seriously. There may be disagreements. That doesn't mean we're going to change our mind about the principles that are important to be applied to this process in terms of what a day after should.
Oh, that goes on for 9 fucking minutes. And Katie, Stevie Nicks called. She wants her fucking boots back. Those are a little over your league. I'm sorry. What do you think you are, a rock star? That's just gross, right? And for her to say, well, we don't care what Israel has to say. We are the United States and we're going to give you our position. I'm not buying this shit. This is her pretending that they push back against anything Israel's doing or saying. I mean, we've heard it straight out of Bibi's mouth himself that he owns the United States. He doesn't have have to fucking listen to anything they say. And he will not listen to anything they say. Good morning, Natalie. I hope you're feeling better. I shouted you out earlier. I saw your message. Oh, terrible. I hate when sickness just comes and grabs you. It's terrible. Let's talk about the aid that's going into Gaza, right? We've talked about it multiple times. The aid is not getting into Gaza, guys. It is being held up at the borders. I mean, well-intentioned countries are sending mass aid in. They see the humanitarian crisis. They see the Palestinian people fucking starving and needing water. And what does Israel do? Well, they block it like they always do. And if Israel doesn't block it, well, it's people will. It's protesters will. Can you imagine? You're that close to Gaza. They're at the fucking border. You know that tens of thousands of people are being killed and hundreds of thousands are being starved. And no, I think I'll go protest and block the aid that can get in there after we've been bombing them for, months straight. Fuck those people. That is the mentality that we see. It is just absolutely disgusting. It floors me. It fucking floors me. It's not good enough you're bombing and killing them. Now you got to block the aid that is just sitting on the border trying to get into them. And, we're seeing them accuse the humanitarian aid workers of being Hamas. We're seeing them accuse them of being in on October 7th. They're fucking arresting them. They're torturing them. Depending on what side you're looking at this from, they propagandize it. We've seen the mainstream media propagandizing these humanitarian aid groups that are trying to get in there and bring relief to these people. It's just a shame on all of them at the end of the day. Professor Zenka says Joe Biden's decision to stop funding UNRWA means that U.S. is now officially complicit in starvation of 2 million people. That's exactly it. Oh, and yeah, just remember, AOC endorsed 4 more years of Genocide Joe, because that's your progressive squad. Just a reminder. She came out super fucking early, too, right? That's the thing. Like in 2016, 2020, oh, hold on. Don't endorse anybody till we get closer. No, AOC is like, fuck that. I'm going to endorse him 4 years ahead of time. That's your progressive squad, because he's so progressive. He doesn't embody the things that I do, but I'm still going to support him. Yeah, that's what she said. Ooh, this is breaking. I should have thrown it on the breaking news because it just dropped right before I went live. Barry Weiss wants you to know how scared she is in Tel Aviv and the terrible things they have to go through when the air raid sirens go off. If you haven't seen this, you should be absolutely floored by how badly the Israelites have it, Check this out. Okay, so when the air raid goes off, when you're driving down the highway, you got to pull over and get between the Jersey barriers. This is Tel Aviv Airport. I'm supposed to feel bad for her. Look at what she has to go through. I see no planes. I see no drones. Oh, that's right. Hamas doesn't really have any of that shit. Yeah, it looks like Tel Aviv's under attack. Everybody else is just driving by. Does she go get back in her car? This is a photo op. This is absolutely 100% a fucking photo op that she's doing right here. Bottle rockets incoming. Yeah, no shit. Oh, get your head down. Okay, I can't watch any more of this crap. I don't even think she crawls out of that ditch that she's in. You know, snitches get ditches or ditches get snitches. But this is just gross. When miles away there is thousands and thousands of dead, buried fucking babies because you're occupying their land. I'm supposed to feel bad for you because when you hear an air siren for some incoming bottle rockets, as you guys put it, she's got to pull over on the highway and hide behind a Jersey barrier. This was 100% a photo op. The first time Barry Weiss came across my radar is when she came out calling Tulsi a toady, right? But she didn't even know what a fucking toady is. She's an Israeli toady. 100%. This is just gross. And propaganda, 100% part of the propaganda machine. You will see that clip everywhere for the next 2 days now that she's dropped it. I promise you. It's so gross. Yeah, you guys are the occupiers. You're dropping bombs, and then we're supposed to feel bad for you because you might feel threatened back. I don't. I fucking don't. And Claire Daly's here to tell you exactly why.
Now, the threat to media freedoms are deeply troubling, and we have to do a lot more. But we only ever talk about certain kinds of threats to media freedom. We never acknowledge the others, the hard limits that our politics and our culture puts on its freedom. Look at how our media has covered Israel's genocidal assault on Gaza. If the media isn't uncritically repeating Israel's blatant lies, it's tying itself up in knots to avoid exposing them for what they are. It relentlessly downplays Israeli genocide, berates grieving Palestinians for not condemning Hamas enough. Israelis are killed by bloodthirsty Palestinians, while Israeli bullets find their way into the heads of Palestinian children. Our media gives Israelis names, Palestinians are statistics. 75 years of murder is wiped away. The 7th of October came from nowhere. Every journalist knows the rules of the game and they follow them. What kind of media freedom is this?
Claire burns it to the fucking ground every time. I love Claire. We need so many. Kurt Boss says, if October 7th happened for 500 days, I might feel sorry for an hour. I hear you. I absolutely hear you. One day does not justify what we have seen over the last 3 fucking months. There is no comparison. And, every time they open their mouths, but what about? And let's talk about what about, because Bill Maher, another clip with him and Seth MacFarlane, has been doing the rounds. And and it's got a bonus kick in it because Adam Schiff is in it too. Adam Schiff. Adam thinks he's a comedian, so we're gonna watch this. Let's see, how long is this? I want to say it's like 4 minutes. I don't want to cut it so you get the full effect of the shit livery on display here from so-called progressive Democrats, right? Because all 3 of these fuckers call themselves progressive. Do you know they do?
So here's the other group. Under 35, Trump leads Biden. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
It is the kids. And this is mostly, I think, because of a wedge issue. I don't know if people really know what a wedge issue is. That means a wedge within the party, something that divides people within the Democratic Party. And for that is the kids love Hamas. And who couldn't? Who couldn't resist them? I mean, they behead babies. Yeah. Or do they? Oh, this is interesting, yes. See, now there's something called they say it's a false flag operation. They're calling them, remember 9/11 truthers? These are October 7th deniers.
Yeah.
You've read about this?
Yes, I have.
This is the Washington Post this week. A small but growing group denies the basic facts. Some, they say, Israel staged this to justify their invasion of Gaza. The hostages, not really. They were kidnapped by Israel. The United States is behind the whole thing. There's a professor who says, this is a professor in New York, don't take what the media says. They try to say you're supporting rapists and people that behead babies, both of which, we know it's not true. No, we know it is true. They purposely filmed it, and we have the footage.
It's
But
very
how come
on
nobody but
brand
you
for
have seen
social
that fucking
media,
footage?
and it's very on brand for the planet as far as its relationship with the Jews over many centuries. We have this weird stalkerish relationship to the Jewish people.
Yeah.
It's the most bizarre thing. We have like something like 60% of the religious-based hate crimes in this country are committed against Jewish people, which are 2% of the population. So what does that tell you? Like there's something else going on there that, and this is just the latest. You know, it's why Israel exists.
Well, and I feel this keenly because I'm the subject of a lot of that hate online.
Oh, everybody hates
and
you,
it's so
Adam.
hard to set the record straight and correct all the disinformation out there. For a while, there was a very well circulated meme that my sister had married George Soros's daughter. And I remember when it first came out, calling my brother Dan and saying,
Your sister married George Soros.
Wait, shit, was that not true?
Let's talk about the Standard Hotel.
I have to delete a few tweets.
So I called my brother Dan, and I said, Dan, I've got some good news and some bad news. The good news is we have a sister. Why didn't Mom tell us? And she married really well, but the bad news is she's clearly holding out on us. But, you try to correct, that kind of trutherism about October 7th, or, we had that trutherism about 9/11.
Oh, that was so gross. Wasn't that so gross? There's so many things. For one, I don't know where Seth MacFarlane's pulling these statistics, right? You can always bend a statistic to wow people. We've talked about that. I'm going to talk to Jamie about it tonight. He did a really good in-depth dive on how to lie to people with statistics, one of Bill Gates's favorite books. And nice even panel. Mar, thank you for bringing somebody who would actually push back, like, I don't know, Finkelstein or anybody from the fucking gray zone. Yeah, we're called October 7th truthers, right? But if you try to talk about the truth of what happened before October 7th, yeah, no, you're not allowed to talk about the truth, not the truth at all. This is shit lib Hollywood, underrepresented by Jews, as so we've been told lately. And I'm just so glad that Adam Schiff is there to defend them. He wants to talk about his sister not marrying Soros. I say we talk about the Standard Hotel. Yeah. If you know, you know. These people are rotten and corrupt to the core, and that includes Bill Maher, guys. And yeah, I get it. I used to like Seth MacFarlane so much. I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was really smart with, what he did. But when you understand what that machine is, the Comedy Central, or not Comedy Central, the Adult Swim. When you know what the Adult Swim machine is all about, it will absolutely revolt you. Like, you don't want anything to do with it. I used to love Adult Swim, and now I just see it as vile programming. And that's what it is. It's programming for, the people that sit there and watch it all night. So gross. Oh, let's see. Oh, I got us a Jimmy Dore. So let's talk about October 7th, right? We don't need evidence. No, they don't need evidence. And I love how they always talk about this fucking video. Oh, we have the proof, right? Nobody's seen that proof, but a small handful of people that they have allowed to see that. I think it comes with the Auschwitz package. You can tour Auschwitz and you get to see the October 7th propaganda film. Pretty sure. You'd have to ask Elon. I think he's been there twice to see it. Yeah. Let's hear from Jimmy Dore.
So here we see a CIA article. New York Times article. I always get those mixed up. They go into detail in this article. And see the headline? It says, "Screams Without Words, How Hamas Weaponized Sexual Violence on October 7th. Because if there's one thing we've learned from the burning of the Reichstag in the last century, is that you need a flimsy excuse to launch a genocide against a group of people who had nothing to do with the attack. The slack-jawed dopes of the world were just going to go along with it because they go along with whatever the New York Times or the man on the television tells them. I mean, after COVID, it's just amazing how people just go. I had people quoting these stupid stories to me at Christmas parties. If the guy on the television told them, hey, it's unhealthy to keep breathing, they would sit down and stop breathing and say, sorry, the doctor on the TV knows more about this than you do. And then they would just pass out. So look, there's a little bit of the story. One family knew exactly who she was, Gail Adush, a mother of two from working-class town in central Israel, who disappeared from the rave that night with her husband, based largely on the video evidence. The whole point of this, it's false. I'm sorry, I buried the lead. This New York Times story has been now completely debunked. And by who? By the woman they say... Here we go. Based largely on the video evidence, which was verified by the New York Times, Israeli police officials said they believe that Miss Abdush was raped, and she has become a symbol of the horrors visited upon Israeli women and girls during the October 7th attacks. Okay. Israeli officials say that everywhere Hamas terrorists struck, the rave, the military bases along the Gaza border, and the kibbutzim, they brutalized women. A 2-month investigation by the New York Times uncovered painful new details, establishing that the attacks against women were not isolated events, but part of a broader pattern of gender-based violence on October 7th. Well, here's Aaron Mate. A major embarrassment for the New York Times and his story, this guy Gettleman, on how Hamas weaponized sexual violence. Gal Adbush is the October 7th victim whose story leads and is featured throughout the New York Times article. Her family is even featured as the cover image. New York Times describes her as the symbol of October 7th sexual violence. But here's the problem. Her sister says there is no proof that there was a rape. She also accuses the New York Times of manipulating their family. They didn't know that she would be presented as a rape victim in the story.
What, they're not happy about that they just threw in she was raped on top of it being blown up?
In other words, the New York Times weaponized both a dead woman and sexual violence to spread propaganda in service of a genocide in Palestine. Wow.
That is terrible. That is absolutely terrible. Props out to the Gray Zone, Aaron Monte, Max Blumenthal, Anna, everybody over there who is just slapping the mainstream media around with the fucking truth. It is so bad that they run and hide from them, right? We're still waiting for the Chris Como, aka Fredo, Max Blumenthal debate. I will let you know when that's on, because that's going to be a showstopper. That'll be fun to watch. Yeah, we have so much proof that they've lied about the events on October 7th. I mean, why is it that in our news feeds everywhere we see dead Palestinian babies constantly maimed, blown up, burnt, buried, but the people of the world are not allowed to see what happened on October 7th. You just have to take our word for it. Because if you don't, you're anti-Semitic. You know, I'm a self-hating Jew. You guys know that. So that's where we're at with that. So AOC had to go out there and do the rounds. She did Meet the Press because we love Meet the Press here at the Trailer Park. It's one of our mainstays of Sunday mornings. And Case Study QB got out there and clipped this. Let's hear what Miss Genocide supporter herself had to say.
Let me ask you about what's happening in the Middle East. There are details about this potential emerging deal in which Israel would stop its war campaign for about 2 months in exchange for all of the hostages, given the argument by Israel, by the U.S. government, that applying pressure to Hamas was the only way to get the hostages out. Do you think that Israel's strategy on the point of the hostages has been effective?
I do not. We know that Hamas as an organization, it does not have any regard for human life. I think that in Hamas's attack on October 7th, they knew what they were bringing on they knew the violence that they were bringing on, and we have seen that. They understood the asymmetric attack that Israel will put out. Israel has been indiscriminately attacking Gazans, and we have seen over 25,000 Palestinians have been killed, over 70% of whom are women and children. Using 25,000 lives as leverage and the idea that is going to pressure Hamas, they are accountable to very little. But I think what is most important is saving these lives, ensuring the release of hostages, and, in my view, negotiating a ceasefire.
Ugh, it's so gross, so gross. Let's see, what is this? What does this meme say? Let me bring it back up. GQ, remember when she was on the cover at GQ after she went to the Met Gala? Yeah. So, Green New Deal? Nah. She would rather support Joe's suicide pact with big oil. Oh, that's so true. Genocide? Who cares? Let's reelect Butcher Biden. Yeah, definitely. More endless war? Hell yeah. Just pretend to be anti-war. Then that's what the Democrats do, right? Especially every 4 years. We're against war. We don't like war. Funny, you keep funding war. Let's see. Cry, tweet, then vote yes. Her magic formula to gain sympathy. Oh, yeah. I love her. Her little one-on-ones where she cries. They're so wonderful. Yeah. But I'm a terrible person in the psych op, not that fucking bitch. Yeah. Me coming to you live from my trailer park. I'm the problem. Yeah. We get it. We get it. You know, I see a lot of hate out there, but I don't see the hate coming from those pushing back against the Zionism. Yeah, we're calling it out for what it is, but are we out there fucking hating? No, I think that it's the other way around, and I brought you a couple of examples of it. So, Censored Man says Hitler made a big mistake. He should have put you all in the gas chambers too, says a Zionist to a pro-Palestinian. Oh, this is just gross. You should all be put in the gas chamber.
Hitler made a mistake. Hitler been in the gas chamber. Too bad. But we're here, and you're gonna go to hell.
No, honey, you're gonna go to hell. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Anywhere else in the world, that would have been an anti-Semitic attack, right? To stand there and tell some Hasidic Jews that they should burn in the gas chamber. What in the hell? Has Tokyo Simp been released from the locked ward? Maybe. I kind of miss Tokyo Simp. Tokyo Simp kept all of us busy for a long time. I got one more, and this one's got a Benjamin, Medea Benjamin in it.
I wish they will rape you alive. They will film you. Why don't you get kidnapped by them in Gaza and see if people come and save you? Because we should have a ceasefire and negotiate with terrorists. They're just going to say, oh, you stop bombing us, we'll stop bombing you. Here, take them back. Yeah, they'll just say, here, take them back.
Israel controls whether they have water, whether they have electricity.
We generously give them water.
We generously give them water after we stole their land.
It's their land that was taken from them.
Jesus was a Jew. Do you know that? He was born there. The Jews were there first.
Oh, there were no Palestinians there.
Read the Old Testament. Read the New Testament.
Of course, and I know that there's over 400 Palestinian villages that were destroyed in 1948. What's called the Nakba.
Who was here first?
Indigenous people.
So should we all be kidnapped and tortured, our babies put in an oven because we took it from the Native Americans?
Yeah.
But yet you're living here. I think we should torture you and your family. Let's cut open your stomach, take out your fetus and throw it in an oven and then smell it while they torture you and cut off your body parts and rape you, make you naked and drag you through the street.
I just wish your kids were there.
Yeah, you are fucking so stupid.
I wish they will rape you alive. They will film you, and if your mother be alive, they will send the video for your mother to see how you burn. That's what I wish, and this is if this is okay for you. So I don't know what you made from. To wish that it's terrible. It's terrible that people had it. I know. People burned alive. And it's terrible. The mother watch it on TV, on the video, on the video. You know what it burns? They film it. It burns people alive. They didn't. Why don't you go to Gaza? We've been exchanging for hostages. Why don't you go to Gaza to live there? Why don't you go there? Why don't you go there? It's like
Let's be very clear.
My ass, your ass. You don't know nothing. Peace and love. Let's all live together.
Let's be very clear.
Medea, she's got the patience of a frickin' saint, man. That was me. I would not be holding back. But hey, there's good people on both sides, right? That is just visceral hate. And if that was coming from the other side, oh my God, people would be losing their fucking shit, right? Oh my God, look at this hate that is directed at us. Yeah, we're seeing the hate that's directed. Let's see. Russian man bad. Always. I don't know who this woman is. I got this off of her name's Blanca Van Wyck. And if I do find out who she is, I'll let you know. I don't know if this is her or not. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but I love what she has to say. She shuts this freaking reporter down so hard, so fast that we need more people like this.
Should have acted sooner and faster, that hundreds of billions of dollars has been put at risk because the Houthis have held this area in the Red Sea at ransom.
Sorry, so just let me get this straight, Yalda. So we are bombing one of the poorest countries in the world that has been under a humanitarian blockade. There has been famine. These people have been decimated. And we are bombing them because a couple of guys in dinghies in support for the Palestinians who are having a genocide committed against them, they're objecting to that. And we're bombing them. Come on now. I mean, this is just an insane world for us to even think. I'm so sorry your Amazon packages are delayed. I really am. Like, I wish mine came on time. But, you know, genocide, guys, genocide. There are 2 mothers a day dying in Gaza right now. It's 109 days into a conflict in which a humanitarian crisis has been declared to the world day
by the
in,
way,
day out.
By the way, Dr. Francois, there are many who are Yemen watchers who monitor and follow the Houthis who say this is doing wonders for their branding, actually, that it isn't just the Palestinian cause that they're focused on.
So call a ceasefire now and end the positive branding. If you want to stop the Houthis doing what they're doing, then call a ceasefire right now.
Do you genuinely believe that the Houthis would stop doing what they're doing?
They have literally said that that's why they're doing what they're doing. They have not previously blocked those routes for any other reason except this one. So yes, I do. And I also think the West needs to start to understand that you cannot just go around playing cowboys in the world. There are consequences to your actions. You cannot just go around bombing people's countries, ignoring international law and expect no repercussions. For every cause, there is a consequence. And just because you don't like a couple of guys trying to resist,
I mean, these are now prescribed terrorists.
Sure, according to Western governments,
well,
they are
also
terrorist
according to the Yemeni people,
which is the Saudi-backed government, which is essentially our.
But the Yemenis who live, under Houthi rule, talk about the fact that this group continues to terrorize them as well.
Yeah, I'm no fan of the Houthis, apart from when they're blockading in favor of a ceasefire, which should have been called a long time ago. 25,000 people are dead in Gaza right now. There are over 60,000 people injured with no access to food, water, aid. How dare we have a conversation about trade when there are children right now being treated without anesthetic? Well, there are things that require us to make some sacrifices, and this would be one of them.
They do have the global economy, global markets hostage.
Good for them.
Bill Brother.
Good for them. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now.
We're going to have to leave it there. But Dr. Miriam
You cannot allow these people to be decimated and expect there to be no consequences.
I think that is a separate conversation.
Okay, so she's a doctor. At the end, they said Dr. Miriam something. But yeah, I cranked her up. I had her at 1.5 speed. She doesn't talk that fast. I just speeded her up because it was like a 4-minute clip. Yeah, I love what she had to say. And when she says good for them, I don't care. How dare we be talking about world fucking trade when there is tens of thousands of fucking babies that are being killed, mothers, people injured, having to have surgery with anesthetic. I mean, come on. The cruelty in this world right now is so disheartening, including the dumb fucking trolls that show up in my chat. Yeah, maybe it was Tokyo Semp. I timed him out just because none of us need that crap in the morning. Normally I let the trolls go. But no, you're not going to come over here and poo on us. There's plenty of mainstream media channels and there's plenty of mammies that you can go fucking hang out with and have your cognitive bias reconfirmed, right? You don't need to be over here doing it. So bye-bye is all I got to say. 3 U.S. service members killed in a drone strike in Jordan. Of course, this happened Saturday night. And Dennis Kucinich says, if the U.S. can't protect our soldiers, bring them home. Oh, yeah, because we know that's what's going to happen. Yeah, I do let the trolls stay normally, Popeye. I do. I normally just say don't feed the trolls, ignore them. But we do have one like stalker troll that has been after all of us for many years, and he borders on scary. So sometimes you can't encourage him. And let's see. Of course, after we heard that the 3 servicemen, and I think there was 25 injured. Let me see. I have an article here. 25 injured. They've been moved to Germany. It was a drone attack. And this marks a significant escalation of the conflict in the Middle East. And as Iran-backed militant groups continue to target U.S. bases around the region. Why the fuck do we have U.S. bases around the region? Just saying. It's not our land. What the fuck are we doing there? The U.S. condemned the airstrikes and they targeted 3 militia positions in Iraq. So we're just bombing all over the place. Yemen, Syria, Iraq. This is Biden's push to World War III because he's such a shitty sitting president going for a re-fucking election that, yeah, he's got to have all these irons in the fire to keep you preoccupied, right? So do you think that the U.S. or the Biden administration gives 3 fucks about these people? Not one damn bit. This is just press for them. This is just another beating of the war drum. Oh, look what they did. Because Americans, we get pissed when you kill our kids. And those are our kids that are sitting on those fucking bases, those 800 bases around the world, right? It isn't the global elite's kids. It isn't the Biden administration's kids. No, those are our kids. And why are they there? Because they can't get affordable housing. They can't get an education without some of the things that the GI fucking bill brings, right? So they have no choice but to enlist. And yeah, they really want us to enlist now. We're seeing all kinds of commercials for defend your country. Be patriotic. It's just gross. Lindsey Graham said, hit Iran, hit them hard. Yeah, as soon as he saw that Jordan base was attacked, of course, Mr. Warhawk himself, he was just beating the drums. All of the shit libs were beating the drums. So gross. It's so gross. Ryan Long was on it and dropped this one. I kind of think that this is an older one, but it works for this one. So good job, Ryan. He's a comedian, if you don't know who he is.
In discussing America's involvement in the Israel-Palestine conflict, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham has made a plea to Congress saying he just wants one more war and then won't ask again after that, he promises. Graham then went on to say that he hasn't asked them for a war since Ukraine, which was like forever ago, and it doesn't even have to be a big one. He just needs a little something to keep him regular, and then he'll be out of their hair, hand to God. When the topic of de-escalation and the possibility of working towards an agreement for a ceasefire and the safe return of the hostages came up, Lindsey Graham stood up and said, and I quote, "Come on, man, don't do this to me. You're killing me here. It doesn't even have to be a full war. We can even go with a measly proxy. I just need a little taste. Come on, guys, don't cockblock me." Okay, listen, I don't want to have to beg, but I'll beg. Before getting down on his knees and continuing, all I'm asking for is a tiny little scuffle with Hamas and a quick little Donnybrook with Iran. And obviously Hezbollah will catch a little spray too, but that's war, baby. Let's go. At which point he stood up and started punching air before saying, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. What I'm trying to say is I need this. There, I said it. On my mother's grave, I won't bother you again after this. At which point Senator Rand Paul stood up and said, I just think we should all take a moment to breathe before we enter another war. To which Lindsey Graham stood back up and responded, shut the up, Rand Paul. No one's talking to you, you pussy. What do you say, guys? Who's in? Before putting his hand over his mouth in a cupping motion and making a variety of different voices saying, yeah, let's do it. Let's get these bastards. Graham's right. Rand is a pussy.
That is so true. It reminds me of a conversation I had with a Percocet dealer many, many years ago, right? It is. He is a fucking war fiend. They are all war fiends. Let's put him on the front line. Him and Adam Schiff and Bill Maher, and they can all go, stand on the front line. They're so into this goddamn war. Why don't you go fight it? I love the meme that says that war should be sponsored by GoFundMe. Yeah. You want a war? You should have to pay for it yourself. Quit taking our tax dollars, because that could go to feeding the American people, housing the American people, educating the American people. But no, you are not allowed to have any of that. America, the land of the free and home of the brave. Let's see. Fee says, we got a Fee says. Let me put my glasses on so I can actually read this. What does Fee says? Fee says Biden blames Iran. The United States will hold all of those responsible to account at the time and in a manner of our choosing. Yeah, because we are, we are the torturers. We get to choose the form of torture. Iraq has already claimed responsibility and said that this was in Syria. However, this isn't convenient for U.S. interests, as they pretend they didn't radicalize the Al-Qaeda affiliates, Free Syrian Army, terrorist groups against both Syria and Iran. So they insist on Jordan and blaming Iran, as they are thirsty for war with the Islam Republic. Yes, that is absolutely true, Fee says. Fee is doing some of the best reporting on this. I mean, keeping you want foreign policy updates, go follow Fiorel Isabel, because she is on it and she knows what the fuck she's talking about, because she doesn't sit in a goddamn armchair in America preaching to people, regurgitating what she sees. No, she's actually on the ground, going to these places, interviewing people, talking to people. That's how it's done. You want information, you got to go to the people. And Fee goes to the people. Let's see. War with Russia, war with Iran, war with China, or war with Texas. Oh, Biden's got some bad choices there. Let's see. They didn't believe Paula Jones. They didn't believe Tara Reid, but they believe E. Jean Carroll. Yeah, that's a sad, sad thing. I was thinking about Tara yesterday because of that. Like, God, how bad does it got to burn your ass? If I was Tara Reid, my ass would be fucking pissed that somebody could just make some shit up, have no fucking proof to back it up, and walk away with, well, what? See, she got 10 million the first time, and then because Trump made fun of her, she got another 83 million on top of it. So $93 million from just making shit up, right? And when you go do some deep dives into Jean Carroll, holy fuck, that woman's a wingnut. And she can't even remember the time in her life that she accuses Trump of that. Like, it's that simple. It's so bad. Oh, so we just talked about Texas, right? And that little choice that said go to war with Texas. What do you mean go to war with Texas? Well, the mainstream media is selling us this narrative that Texas and other red states are rising up against the federal government because, you know, they're trying to stop what's happening at the southern border, and the feds, they're pushing back, and it's a big fight. Who can cut the razor wire? Who's not going to cut the razor wire? So this is what they want you to believe, that half the country is ready to rise up in civil war and fight back. Of course, we had a trucker convoy that headed down there this last weekend, and I've seen some video of it. Here, I brought you a little clip. I have to mute this one because some asshole put music behind it, and so we'll just watch it. So that is down at the southern border. I don't know if this is supposed to be Eagle Point. I mean, that seems to be the point of contention in Texas, right? That's what the federal case was about. Yeah, it looks like Texas. All of Texas looks like that. All those Confederates ready to go to war. Okay, so you see it. When you expect a receding hairline, but you get a succeeding hairline instead. That's funny. Don't let your hair succeed. Oz, did your hair succeed? Is that what happened? I'm thinking maybe. Who had Civil War for February 2024? Yeah, I'm not buying it. They would love us to have a civil war. That's what they're trying to stoke here with this crap. Oh, I love Trump trucks. Yeah, I hope they have the little brass balls hanging down off of the trailer hitch. Yeah, those are my favorite Trump trucks, right? Okay, you guys get the point. So that is what we're being told is happening at our border, right? Oh my God. I mean, we know that immigrants are flooding across. We've known this for the last year. You guys know I've been to the border. Border issue has been kind of on my radar for a long, long time. And I've always supported the migrants. I think we need a path to citizenship in America. And our third world policies, especially in the global South, have created a huge portion of this immigration problem, even though the mainstream media will tell you it's climate change, right? Climate change is why they're all running here. It doesn't have anything to do with the fact that America has been fleecing their natural resources, I don't know, for a half a fucking century. No, that don't have anything to do with it. So I always say, you want to know what's truly happening, you have to go to the people. Now, I came across this TikTok of somebody who actually lives at the fucking border. They got their camera out like any one of us would have done, and they took a drive. And I think you might be shocked at what the media is not telling you. Check this out. Believe it or not.
Wow. What? Half a mile. What's going on, guys? I know y'all come to my page because of comedy and I just play around on here. And I don't get political very often. Sometimes I have some things to say about things. I live in Texas. I was just in Eagle Pass, and I've got some videos I need to show you guys. Because you're watching the news, whether it's CNN or Fox, you're letting these news media idiots get you riled up against each other. Let me show you some videos that might just calm your ass down and make you turn off the TV. Watch this. All right, so this is the wall, you know, the fence that we put up. And they put up a secondary fence because they opened the gates. There's some armed guards with some pretty serious weaponry. You know, pretty intimidating, right? Here's your razor wire in between the two bridges that are in the entrances into Mexico and also the entrance to Eagle Pass. There's some Hummers, some more guys, right? We're protecting, you know, we're keeping them out. This is 0.5 miles from that area. 0.5 miles from where they set up their cameras. 0.5 miles from where they have all the people there. And it's right down the road. I left this long to show you just how short of a drive it is for us to get to a point where all that we just saw does not matter. And they're just getting you riled up against each other because it's election time. And right about here is where you're going to see it. What's that? Where are the armed guards? Where are the AR-15s? Where is the razor wire? Where's the gates? That's half a mile from where the media is blowing up that Texas versus the feds, that we're having this big battle. So that was one gate. That was the very first gate that I saw. We drove down a little bit more. There's one. It had a chain on it. So you keep driving down the road. You got Trump's wall doing its job. This one has never even had a gate. So to me, it doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, liberal, libertarian. It doesn't matter what you are. And you're posting about this Texas versus the feds and we could have a civil war. I'm telling you right now, if a civil war breaks out, it's not because there's something good to fight over. It's because it's election time. It is because the news media is corrupt and you need to turn the TV off. I don't care what news media you watch. Just go down there and look yourself. Go look. The things that they are saying that the feds and Texas are fighting about is a stretch that is not even a mile. How long is the border? They can just walk right over, and those gates keep going and going and going and going. I know you're thinking, well, just 2 gates. No, they're all open. Open all the gates.
Okay, so you get the gist of it. The part of do you think this is a BS video? Oh, that's your opinion. That's what I said. Believe it or not. I mean, this is only one bit of information. Somebody took their camera out there, showed you where they are guarding the wall, drove a half a mile down the road, and showed you that there's no media, there's no razor wire, there is no gates. Like they're not. This we're protecting the pass is not actually happening. So, you know, I tend to believe that the mainstream media is hyping this up. I always believe that the politicians are going to jump all over this shit. So that way, you know, hey, look at us, reelect us, the Biden administration, look at us fighting back and supporting immigration. Don't buy into the political bullshit, guys. Don't buy into it. Till I see a bunch of dudes from Texas with fucking guns standing in Washington State, I'm not going to believe that we're in a civil war. Just saying. Just saying. Let's see. Biden to travel to Ukraine to request $14 billion in aid for war against Texas. You think Zelensky's going to give it to him? I don't think he can. Zelensky's bought too many yachts and mega mansions with that money. Bidenomics has made me strong. I can now carry $70 in groceries with just my pinky. Crazy how that happens, right? I bought like $90 worth of food the other day, and it was all in one little bag. Like I'm looking down in it. Fuck, that's $90. I didn't even buy anything. Too crazy. This economy is fucked. Our everything. We live in a fascist country, and we are totally screwed, guys. And we are slipping into a totalitarian state if we're not already 100% there, right? I love that I got trolls today, guys. It makes me feel like I'm doing something right. So I'm not kicking the trolls out. I let them stay. You guys can stay. Have your opinion. Stick around. Maybe learn something. Let's talk about the farmers. Yes, this is in Paris. They are ripping the fucking streets up, the highway, the freeways. This is something of beauty. Why can't we do stuff like this in America?
What it really means to live life golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. They're about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden.
Goddamn radical farmers. This one, they spell out SOS. Yeah, we are in serious need of some help globally, right? SOS. You saw the one that I brought from Saturday night where they took the sod and dumped it all in the McDonald's. Yeah, that one was good. They filled that McDonald's with shit, which was probably better than what was behind the counter. Absolutely. Keep it up, farmers, man. Loving what the farmers are doing. And it's not just in France. It's all over Europe. The farmers are rising up. And in Canada. Check this one out. This one cracked me up.
So you're an artist? Yeah. Are you good at it?
Yeah, bitch,
He spelled out fuck Trudeau in the field. Yes, definitely. So, poor Canada. I know we got some viewers up in Canada. Love our Canadians because I'm so close to Canada, eh? And we saw, right, they had so much craziness that rolled out under COVID. They locked them down. Like, they got hit harder. It's kind of a toss-up. I think Australia was a little worse to their people under the COVID mandates, but Canada, what we saw them do to the truckers during the trucker convoy, they attached their bank accounts, they took their money, they shut their social media down, they killed their ability to work, all because, oh, hey, you're not going to take this experimental jab. And yeah, you're in trouble for that. So the first case got tried for a person who was charged under this COVID mandate, and Canada had a hard time prosecuting. Let's hear about it.
What is going on, everybody? Chris Sky coming at you from Colombia. And today is a revolutionary day. I want it to go down in damn history, January 25th, 2024. What am I talking about? Well, in 2020, September, I flew out to Ireland to do a massive protest there with like 50,000 people. It was crazy. I came back to Canada September 26th. The police knew I was planning on going to the protest September 26th, so they showed up at my house and they threatened me that if I showed up at the protest, they would arrest me under the Quarantine Act. I said, good, I want to be the first person to get charged on this Quarantine Act so I can take your bitch's ass to court and prove to everybody that everything you're doing is not only unconstitutional, but illegal and ultimately will not stand in court. They threatened me that they would arrest me. I said, screw you. Showed up in the protest. They tried to cut me off with 20 cops before I could even get there, but we had our own army of people filming, and I warned them. They said, you're not allowed to be here, Chris, you're on quarantine. I said, excuse me? Quarantine's for sick people. I'm not sick. I'm here to do a protest. So unless you're going to arrest me, get out of my way. They stepped aside. I did the protest. Then the mainstream media showed up, and all of a sudden a cop tapped me on the shoulder, and I became the first person in Canada to get a quarantine violation fine. I looked at it. They had put my name wrong on the ticket. So I went back on stage, grabbed the mic, and I challenged the police to give me a proper ticket with a proper name. They did not. The very next week, when I was still on day 13 of my quarantine, we went back to the protest. This time, my wife and I got arrested, and we got charged criminally under the Quarantine Act. The first people, you could hear Chief Bill Blair of the police talk about it on CTV at CP24. And for the last 4 years, ladies and gentlemen, they have been trying to give me either a $750K fine or 1 year in jail. They were calling for a 15-day trial. They had 26 witnesses against me. And after 4 years, they came to my wife and I and gave us a deal. Said, plead guilty, take a $1,000 fine, and you won't go to jail for a year, and we won't give you the $750K fine. My wife took the deal. Me? Asked my lawyer. I told them, suck my fucking cock, I'll see you in court, and I'm going to destroy you, like I told you way back in October 2020. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Today, January 25th, the state has decided to drop all charges against me. Why? Because they know if I went to court, it would be even more public, and they would get even more embarrassed. The first person to be charged, fined, and charged criminally under the Quarantine Act, right here, challenged in court, delayed for 4 years, finally vindicated, finally proven right, and finally able to say, fuck you, Trudeau, suck my dick, kiss my ass, I beat you all. I proved I was right. And this pandemic bullshit will never happen again because now everybody knows all they have to do is stand up to you and just say no. Chris Guy out.
Chris Guy out. Oh, yeah, you guys are making fun of his choppers and his tattoos. I ain't judging. The guy stood up to Trudeau's government and the bullshit quarantine act that they were trying to fucking start arresting and charging people with, right? The crack has kicked in. I don't care. He can be as cracked out as he wants. He's fighting back against this damn machine. And yeah, they knew it was illegal. They knew it was unjust. And they still were out there acting like they could fucking control you. Oh, you're on a 14-day quarantine lockdown. You can't be out of your house. Remember that shit? Remember Chris Como? Oh, I got to stay in my basement. And then he was out shopping the next fucking day. And then, oh, that afternoon, he's still in his basement. I mean, we just lived through the biggest psych up of our lifetimes, Who could imagine a bigger one, right? And we hear they want to do it again. Disease X is coming, guys. Be scared. Fight back. Tell them no. Tell him no. And that's what that guy did. So good for him. We're seeing a lot of push for Michelle Obama to step in. So Michelle Obama running for president, exactly what Democrats need. Come on, Big Mike, bring it to us. Yeah, I got to get out of this place. I've been thinking that for a long time. I got to get the fuck out of this country, man. They've done lost their fucking minds. Maybe 10 years ago, I would have been okay. But now, knowing what I know, I don't think I can stay here much longer. Let's talk about some stats about voter party affiliation. So Dennis Kucinich says, today I declare my independence. I'm running for Congress as an independent in Ohio's 7th Congressional District. Join me. I like what Kucinich has to say. Now, let us not forget that Kucinich was one of the only people to stand up against the invasion of Iraq. Remember that? Yeah, he was. And he organized Democrats in an anti-war stance, which we don't see from the Democrats anymore. But I brought this because look at the U.S. party affiliations since 2004 to 2023. Oh, independents are the biggest rising bloc? No, shock me. I'm not shocked at all. But look at third parties. Look at third party, guys. We don't have a snowball's chance of hell at recapturing our political system in this country because we are trapped in a two-party duality with a unifucking party that is owned by the corporate overlords. And they're not going to allow a third party to rise up. They will do everything they can to stop it. We've seen this multiple times. Look at 2016. Jill Stein was the spoiler. Remember? Oh my God, if you voted for Jill Stein, you're the reason that we have been in hell for the last 8 years because you gave us fucking Donald Trump when Hillary Clinton would have made the whole country roses and money for everybody, right? Yeah, we got a problem when the independents are rising and third party is staying down here. We're not going to overtake this corrupt system at all. We have to stop participating in it is how it has to roll. And let's see who are becoming liberals. Of course, young women are becoming more liberal. Share of Americans, men and women age 18 to 29 who identify as liberal. Look, the men are staying pretty even over the last, since 1998, right? Look at the young women. What is that about? It couldn't be the college education they're picking up. I don't know. That's just my speculation on it. What do you guys think? You tell me. Why are more women becoming liberal? Oh, it's because we're bleeding hearts. Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't a bleeding heart when I was young. I was too stupid to be a bleeding heart when I was young. I don't know. Okay, so did you guys see Biden was hanging out with the auto workers union? How gross was that? Oh yeah, because he's a union guy. The only union stuff he does is bust unions, but okay, let's give him his endorsement because all of these fucking unions are top down, but that's not the thing. He put his hard hat on backwards and the media lost their collective shit. Yes, the right media can be just as stupid as the left media. And I'll let this play and then I'll tell you something that I know. Now, that dude and his cat and his hooker girlfriend.
Don't you feel silly? Don't you feel stupid? Don't you feel a little ashamed?
No, I don't. Who gives a fucking shit if he put the fucking hard hat on backwards? But the thing is we're still listening to Snopes. I thought we debunked the fact that Snopes is just some dude and his opinion and his cat and his Las Vegas call girl girlfriend. I mean, he did have a wife when it all started, but he kicked her to the curb. And yeah, Snopes is a fucking joke. But here's the thing. A lot of these unions that wear hard hats, I was married to an iron worker many years ago, so many lifetimes ago. They wear their hard hats backwards. I'm sure some auto worker put that hat on him like that. I'm not here to defend Biden, but how fucking stupid. How stupid that we're wasting time on, did he wear his hard hat backwards? I'm sure it's not OSHA approved at all. Not at all. But let's talk about something more important. That is Bidenomics and how much you are paying for your McChicken and McMuffins. They've gone up a little bit. So it's psychologically damaging being fully cognitive of the price of everything has gone up by at least at 100% in the last half decade. Yet every figurehead in government is just pretending that that's simply untrue. And half of the Western world didn't just slide into pseudo poverty. No, we didn't. It's not pseudo poverty. It's real fucking poverty. Yes, a McChicken is now $2.89. Who remembers the 99-cent McChicken? It's not even fucking worth that. But yeah, I call them mayonnaise sandwiches because that's really what they are. And check this out. So let's see. Where is this from? This is from Fairfield, Connecticut. What's the date on it? 1/27. So this was 2 days ago. 2 egg McMuffins, $14.58. $14.58 for 2 egg McMuffins. Those aren't sausage McMuffins. Those are egg McMuffins. 1 bacon egg McGriddle, $7.19. $7.19. And for a grand total of $23.37 for 3 fucking breakfast sandwiches. That is McDonald's. Don't eat that crap. And don't pay those prices to eat that poison. It's straight up poison. I don't have to tell you what's in these things. We talk about it all the damn time. And that is insane. Fucking insane. $23.37 for 3 breakfast. 2 egg McMuffins. Remember when they used to be 2 for $2? Or am I just making that shit up in my head? Because I remember something like get 2 McMuffins for, I mean, even $5 for 2 is okay deal, but $14.58 for 2 egg McMuffins? Where the fuck are those eggs coming from? I know eggs have gone up, but we all know they use powdered eggs at McDonald's, right? All those places use powdered eggs, I'm sure. And I had to bring this slap back from Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden says, Tucker Carlson tweets out fucking lunatics when Lindsey Graham and his buddy, John Corrigan, tweet out, we got to hit them hard, hit Tehran. And Edward Snowden says, if you like the $4 McChicken, you're going to love the $9 McDouble. Yeah, talk about $20 McDouble. That's crazy. Don't eat at McDonald's. Don't give them your fucking money so they can abuse people and feed you poison. Just don't do it. Hey, but there's some hope for Bidenomics. Women went on 6 dates a week to save on food. I didn't buy groceries for 2 years. If I remember right, this is a story from last year, but it looks like they regurgitated it for this year. And I don't know. Maybe it'll help you guys. Just a suggestion, just a tip. If you're single out there, go hit swipe left, swipe right, get yourself a dinner. Right. Today's tax day. You guys can file your taxes. The IRS just sent me an email this morning that says we're open for business. Have you guys filed your taxes yet? Have you even looked at your taxes yet? I saw a lot of my tax papers rolled in this week and it gave me anxiety. Like, oh fuck, I don't even want to deal with it. Well, the people who have already prepared their taxes are kind of sounding the alarm that something's up, guys, and don't expect a big refund this year. Shit has changed. Yes, tax day is April 15th, but today is the first day that they're accepting your tax returns, from what I understand. So let's hear about a TikToker who filed her taxes. Now, I don't know this to be true. I have a feeling it's probably true. And I guess as we get closer to April 15th, we'll find out how true it is.
Okay, people, we need to talk about 2023 filing taxes. To those who are early birds in regards to filing for their taxes this year, are you guys seeing anything weird in regards to the federal side of things? I have done my own taxes my whole life because I don't have a lot of complications. I just literally put in my W-2, boom, I never owe taxes, I get a refund on both sides, and I move about my day. But for some reason, for 2023, something has changed. Something, and I haven't changed anything. My W-4 is always claiming 0, so that way I know they're taking out enough taxes. But for some reason this year, I owe a chunk of money to the feds. Why? But this is not the only person that I'm seeing happening to. I did my little sister's taxes for her last night, and she makes like an average American salary. So there's nothing crazy going on with her. She's not making a ton of money. But for some reason, she owes to the feds. I did my fiance's taxes as well, and he owes for the feds this year. And from what I'm hearing, he has seen a few people on Facebook already complain and question what is going on with the Fed side. Either they're not getting a very huge refund, like, I don't know, less than $100 from the feds, or they're owing now to the feds and they've never had to owe anything. I've Googled it, seeing if there's some sort of issue. My fiance's
Okay, so you get the gist of it. She's saying that the returns that they're preparing, which would normally have a small refund, maybe, a little bit, are now having to pay. So I'm going to keep an eye on this story because I have a feeling that the Biden administration, with their new Inflation Reduction Act, did some hanky shit, and we're all going to be paying through the nose because, hey, somebody's got to pay that money to Zelensky and Bibi. I see Miss Amber King sitting in the chat, and she says, Amber does taxes for a good amount of us, and Cold Fusion does my taxes, but Amber says tax reporting W-9s are not due until 1/31 legally. Yes, that's right. They don't even have to tell you what your tax withholding was till the 31st day, so 2 more days. And she says, and they won't even give you your rebate until late February or early March, regardless of when you file. So early bird's not going to get the worm on this one. And they want to hold that fucking money, baby. Yeah, you know it, Amber. They want to hold that fucking money because when you're dealing in that kind of fucking money, interest compounds fast on it, right? So let me know when you guys file your taxes if you get just sideswiped and what the fuck I have to pay. This is the first time I have to pay. Just send me a little note saying, hey, this is the first year I've had to pay. I just want to get a feel if it's just a fluke and it's these people, or if there's something that's changed with the tax structure where they're gonna really bleed all of us this year, right? No more big tax returns. Fuck, when my kids were young and I got the unearned income credit, right there, earned income, I would get huge returns. Like, oh my God, it would make people pissed. Like, how are you getting $8,000 back? Because they bled me all fucking year and kept my money, and that's my money. But like my Republican brother-in-law, his head would just fucking explode. Like, I don't see why they give you single moms that kind of money. Because I'm raising 3 kids on my own and they took all my money. That's why they're giving it back to me. That's the way I always looked at it. But let's see how much it changed. Let's see how it changed. Whitney Webb, I brought you guys a Whitney Webb just to remind you the state that we're headed to with, digital currencies and national assets, and there's just so much coming. Let's hear from Whitney Webb.
It's been a push for several years, but now it's gaining an insane amount of momentum in steam. But it really goes back several years. And the goal is to have a regulated internet, which means the end of online privacy and anonymity. And they want to do this by having people link a government-issued ID to their internet access and internet activity.
Who is
So
they?
in the U.S.,
Who's they?
Well, it's come from the government, but it's not. A lot of government policy, whether it's about this or something else, doesn't come organically from the government. It comes from think tanks. It comes from groups like that, or even the WEF, the World Economic Forum, that are then given to politicians, and politicians legislate and enact it, and then the state enforces it. But it's not necessarily the ideas of the legislature and the state itself, these policies. And more often than not, these think tanks are funded by corporations and billionaires and all of these guys. And they also own the politicians, so it's really them creating the policy. And they use the state as an enforcer to force it.
Yep. They do. They use the state to enforce it. So when they say who's they, when you say they are coming for us, they are turning our country into a totalitarian state, that's who she's talking about. You know, the owners of BlackRock and Larry Fink and Peter Diamond and Peter Thiel. There's so many to name, right? Those are who are actually in control, not the elected puppet heads that you elect. This one should have been with the tax one. This is Biden's economic spokesperson, right? And she can't even remember what the hell she's supposed to be talking about. So let's hear about it. Rich-splaining: when a person who hasn't experienced poverty gives you patronizing advice on how to get out of poverty. Oh, I love that.
The Treasury Department now says the federal deficit is at $1.5 trillion. That's more than the CBO projected. The president's pushed the bipartisan infrastructure bill. He's pushed the Inflation Reduction Act, the American Rescue Plan. He signed into spending $5.8 trillion over the past 2 years. Spending is at the heart of this impasse. So does the president bear any responsibility for a shutdown?
Absolutely not. And by the way, the deal was to ensure that we had a fiscally responsible plan. I think the name of the bill was the Fiscal Responsibility Act.
No.
That saved $1 trillion over a decade.
Of course!
Oh, Young G.
Absolutely not. And by the way, the deal...
Inflation Reduction Act doesn't even rhyme with Fiscal Responsibility Act. Well, like the speaker, she's paid well and trained to say all that crap.
What do you see as the end game here? Are you willing to make any concessions to the hardline Republicans, and for how long are you expecting the shutdown to last?
So one, I think you get into real trouble in this town trying to play crystal ball maker. I will tell you what the fastest path is to make sure this does not happen. You saw it in the Senate with bipartisan vote to keep the government running.
No! Yes! No! See! No!
Shalanda Young, budget director, has a Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology from Loyola and a Master of Health Administration from Tulane. With an academic record like that, what could possibly go wrong in terms of budget?
Not a joke.
And there are rules for a reason. You must have money to buy things.
You must have money to buy things. That's how it works. Yeah, she is the the economic budget advisor to Biden. She didn't even know what the Inflation Reduction Act was. But hey, it's gonna save us, right? We have rules for a reason, so she says. Just a reminder, today on November 5th, 2020, mortgage rates were at 2.75%. Gas was at $1.80 a gallon, depending on where you live. And post this so it pops up every year to compare. Yeah, we know we've done the comparisons of what we were buying just a mere 4 years ago compared to what we are now, right? I got a credit card application in the mail the other day with I want to say a 32.9% APR on it. I just threw that thing right in the garbage. Oh, what a joke. But I get happy when I see the ones that say 27%. And the World Economic Forum, that's an old meme. That's a holdover. Did you guys see what the climate activists did this week? I don't know if I feel bad about this or not, but Mona Lisa, she got some new makeup this weekend. Check it out. It is a tomato-based puree from what I understand. Oh, it's pumpkin. Pumpkin, my bad. Trudeau really likes that. Why? I get it. I get they're scared for their future. I will grant them that because I'm scared for the future too. But not going after those who are actually the fucking problem, which could be a huge portion of the military industrial machine that America and its allies push out there, right? They don't talk about that. They just want you to stop driving your car to fucking work at Jack in the Box a mile because you're the problem. You're the problem. And stop eating burgers because that's a problem too. We're not going to tackle the real issues that are causing this fucking problem. Not at all. And defacing some of the, oldest art that we have, is it really necessary? Not that I give a shit about any of, I really don't. I really don't. I was like, at first I was like, oh, that kind of makes me sad. And then I was like, no, it doesn't. Who looks at that shit? Rich people look at that shit. We're not getting a tour of the Mona Lisa from the trailer park. So doesn't really affect me either way at the end of the day. Taylor Swift. Oh, no, not Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift could sway the 2024 election, according to the Daily Mail. A new poll finds that with the fifth of voters likely to back the candidate that she endorses. Tay, tell us who to vote. Is Joe Biden been sniffing you? You know damn well she's going to vote for Biden because they all do. That's how the media machine works. Imagine living through the last 3 years and still not being the slightest bit suspicious. Yeah, you would have to be living in a tunnel or something. I don't know. I don't know how you would not. But hey, Republicans want to bring back duels. I would love to see this shit. Can we have some duels? Oh, let's pick our first duel. Who should be our first duel? I say Lindsey Graham and Adam Schmidt. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Make those fuckers duel the old Southern way, right? Oh, yeah. That would be fun. Bring them back. Bring them back. I'm down. Can we sell tickets to that bread and circus? Because that would be hilarious. If they would bring back duels and then sell tickets to it, I'd be on board for it. Joey B. Tunes. I thought I'd bring us some Joey B. Tunes to giggle today. We need a good laugh on a Monday morning. So this is Idiocracy number 12.
The hell is this now? Must be some sort of TikTok manufacturing plant. Had a feeling these people were made in a factory. At least now we know where these cyborgs come from. The only problem is, how do we keep them from coming off the conveyor belt and into the public? At least we could try to shut down the ones that made it out the warehouse. Water doesn't seem to do any good. The circuit boards must be waterproofed. It's almost as if water's like a power-up for these robots. There's got to be another way to stop them. I guess you could put a balloon in their mouth and hope they knock themselves out. Although I doubt it's going to do much damage unless you put a brick in the balloon. Here we go, a dumbbell should do the trick. Just start throwing them in the air. One of them should land in the right spot. Not this one again. This bot's stuck on a loop. Must have a virus of some sort. Oh, now we're talking. Maybe we just gotta give them enough time and they'll start feeding themselves to the lions. Speak of the devil. See, we need more of this. Although Mufasa's gonna be disappointed when he sinks his teeth into a motherboard. Oh, they're eating hay now? I would have thought their diet consisted of estrogen tablets and soy milk. See what I mean? You can't tell me I was that far off. Unless there's some sort of hormonal imbalance in their programming.
Your tummy is what? Let me have a word with your tummy. Don't you ever hurt her. You're welcome, baby.
Whatever these humanoids malfunction is, I've had enough of it. I'm gonna go walk in the woods. Talk to you guys later.
That was Joey B. Tunes making us laugh for a long time now. We've loved Joey. Yeah, we've got a seriously broken society, and short format social media has propelled it to a new level of idiocracy. And if you're feeling bad out there and you feel sucked into this damn machine, first thing you should do is get rid of short format media. And when I say short format media, I mean the TikToks, the 30 seconds, the 1 minuters, the 3 minuters. I promise you, if it's that fucking good, it's going to make its way off of TikTok and it's going to show up on X or Facebook or any of these others. So do yourself a favor and get off of that dopamine repetitive cycle that is short format media. I don't have TikTok. You guys know I don't do TikTok because I saw what it was doing to my adult children very fast when they got it a couple of years ago, right? And I was like, oh, I could, and I know myself. I have a very addictive personality. That reward pleasure center in my brain always is going off. So if I get on that shit, I don't write shows for you guys. I spend 8 hours scrolling stupid shit like that. So yeah, get off of the short format media. You don't need it. I promise you don't need it. Let's see. Business. The Economist business says why you should never retire. Pleasure cruises, golf, and tracing your family tree are just not that fulfilling. So yeah, fuck you. You never get to retire. And that's okay, because that's what the politicians want. Remember, Nikki Haley wants to raise the retirement age to, I don't know, 85 or some shit, right? And she go, oh, I didn't say that. She did say that. She did, absolutely. But hey, there's good news, especially if you live in Japan, because there's new job opportunities for the silvers, is what they call them. It's, I don't, what is this word? An Oedipex complex? What is that? Why Japan's silver porn market is booming. And I've got the article for this. Let me see real fast. Why is it booming? Okay, here it is. Let's see. Her name is Imi Toto, who was in her late 50s, recently divorced, and is getting by on wages from a part-time job at a supermarket and an undertaker. Oh, God, she works at a supermarket and an undertaker. When she decided it was time for a change, now 65, she has appeared in dozens of adult movies catering to the silver porn industry, a genre of films which is becoming popular, reflecting Japan's status as a super aging society. Let's see. I wanted to save money so I could set my details off to employment agency, is what she said. I don't know why she'd have to save money so she could send it to the employment agency, but hey, that's Japan. I ain't asking no questions. So when a call came down offering her a part in 3 pornographic films, she was adamant that she wasn't interested. They had my photo on file and thought I looked the part. So when the agency approached me again, I said yes. Her 2 adult children who live in Tokyo were surprisingly supportive. They said I looked comfortable with the idea, so they were there. They were happy for me to go ahead. Yeah. So survey found that around a quarter of women in their teens, 20s, and 30s have been solicited for jobs as models or idols. Among those who have applied for the jobs, 13% said that they have been asked to take part in a photo shoot or video shoot of a sexual nature. And 2 years later, Japan introduced a law allowing women who appear in adult movies to cancel their contracts within a year of work, released from any reason without pay or penalty. The material must then be deleted and recalled. Oh, so, okay, if you do one of these and you don't like it, you within a year, you can tell them to cancel the contract and pull the movie down. Well, isn't that nice of them? So Japan's demographic time bomb means that senior porn genre has a large and growing fan base. Let's see. The portion of Japanese aged 80 or over reaches 1 in 10 for the first time in years, the government said in September. So an estimated 36.2 million people are over the age of 65 or older. So that's 36 39% looks like of the population. What do you guys think? Are you never too old for porn? I think OnlyFans says that, right? So you don't have to retire and you don't have to work as an undertaker. You can just go do porn. And if you don't feel like doing porn, you could go walk in Paris Fashion Week because we've got some good looking stuff coming from there. Check this out. You guys can make the jokes about this. I don't even have a joke for this. It's just so odd. Joe Biden behind you at all times. That is the proverbial monkey on your back. Wow. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? Where would you actually wear that? Oh, I know, the carpool lane. That's a perfect place to wear that. You could drive and not have to worry. Hey, I got my second person with me. They're right here. This is crazy. Is that a monkey on her back? I know, right? I think it's Joe Biden. I think it's Joe Biden with one of those GIMP masks on, right? Might be some kink. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Seattle will pay $10 million to protesters who police used excess force on during the 2020 protests. Yeah, we did a lot of reporting in real time on that. We even had people on the ground for it, if I remember right. Remember Amber and Franklin and Fee and Pasto were all on the ground for these protests. And yeah, the Seattle police, they had no shits to give, man. They just beat you down. They'd pepper spray you. It didn't matter if you were a dude who just got off work and you were on your way back to your apartment. If you were on their street, they beat you down. And because of it, they had to pay out the nose. But the funniest thing about this is Seattle hired like the number one expert in training police for protests. And even they said, yeah, they went above and beyond when it kind of came to fucking shit up. So Seattle had no choice but say, okay, we'll settle out of court. When our own experts say that we use excess force, then maybe we use excess force. But will they get retrained? Will they get de-escalation training? No. No, it's Seattle. We're defunding the police. We don't got money for that. I'm glad for the protesters who, one lady had her hand blown off by, those stupid non-lethal, but it'll blow your hand off. We saw this at Standing Rock too. I'm glad they're having to pay. Seattle, learn a fucking lesson. When people come out and peacefully protest, they're peacefully protesting. Don't beat them down. They pick their bikes up and literally beat you over the head with their bikes. I've seen it firsthand. It's insane. And one more local news for me. Let's see. Seattle Times is reporting students in Washington State may soon be required to learn about the contributions and history of the LGBTQ people under a bill approved by the state Senate last week. So you no longer get Native American studies. You are getting LGBTQ studies. So, it is what it is, I guess. The 80s, let's see, the 80s, when you could have a cartoon that heavily featured rainbows without people thinking the main character is gay. Yeah, I kind of miss being able to have rainbow stuff, right? I mean, as a kid in the 80s, everything was fucking rainbow. Lisa Frank, we all grew up with that. Hello Kitty had rainbow. We had Rainbow Bright. We had the Care Bears. They were all rainbow. But now rainbow means totally different, right? I don't know. You guys can think what you want on that one. I'm glad that Washington State's leading the charge, like always. Plastic crockpot liners are the millennials' lead paint. Let's see. Me full of microplastics, my dad full of asbestos, and my grandfather full of lead. Yeah, we all get poisoned, right? Paper straws contain toxic forever chemicals. Could be worse than plastic straws, study says. Oh, shit. Didn't see that one coming, did we? So paper straws might not be that eco-friendly. Drinking tubes, as they're called, that are being promoted. Oh, this is in Belgium. Researchers have found that the so-called green utensils are toxic, therefore potentially worse for the environment than the much villainized plastic. Yeah. Are we shocked? I remember when we got rid of paper. Remember when we got rid of paper and we switched to plastic bags in the late 80s because Paper was tearing down our forests. We got to save the trees. We got to save the trees. So then we moved to plastic for 30 years. And now, you can't get a plastic bag at any of my local stores. Like, you can't even buy one. In the beginning of all this, you could buy a bag for 8 cents or whatever. Now, if you don't have a bag, you're just huffing all that shit out in your hands. That's the way it is. So I hate those paper straws. I fucking hate them. When we go out, like, let's see, when was the last time I had a paper straw? Concert. I went to a concert last summer and it came with a big paper straw on it. That thing was mush and falling apart 5 minutes into my drink. Like, they're worthless if you ask me. Just my opinion. Enough that I think we need plastic straws. What the fuck y'all need straws for anyways? We drank out of just plain cups for millennial. Like, we didn't millenniums. We didn't need it. Kate, I brought you this one. Kate loves the crows and the ravens as much as I do. And I saw this. I thought it was so cute. Let's see.
Ну-ка, Гоша. Гоша, смотри. Повторишь за мной? А теперь ты. Молодец.
Aw, I want a raven. Wasn't that cute? I got to get me a raven. They're so smart. They are so smart. One of these days, maybe in another life, I'll have a raven. I'll have a pet raven sitting on my shoulder. What do you guys think? Hey, tomorrow we should probably be scared because an asteroid the size of 64 Canadian geese to pass Earth. Ugh. I don't understand these these units that they're using to measure shit, especially asteroids. 64 Canadian geese? What the fuck does 64 Canadian geese look like? I'm so confused. And this isn't the first time they've used some crazy unit of measurement for these asteroids, right? Seems like 6 months ago, I brought you something that was fucking weird too, like the size of 14 elephants. Like, what? What does 64 Canadian geese look like? I don't know. And fingers crossed, we get a direct fucking hit this time, guys, and it'll all be over. But hey, don't worry about it because AJ will save us. He's got it. You guys know Armageddon's one of my favorite movies of all fucking times. It's just a guilty pleasure for me. Always has been. And, AI is taking over. Robots are on the rise, but we have to be conscious because why are so many robots white? Oh my God, the racism here. We need more diversity in robots. Please, can we get some diversity in robots? I'm glad that we're sticking to the important stuff, right? The conversation says, why are so many robots white? Yeah, it was a great movie. I love that movie. I still like when I just want to veg out and totally relax, I'll throw like Armageddon on some movie. Independence Day. I liked Independence Day. You guys know disaster movies are my genre. Like I've seen everyone out there. It doesn't matter if they're in another language, if they're a D movie, I'll watch them. I love them because I've been secretly hoping and waiting for a long time for this shit show to go up. Let's go to Hollywood. Go fuck yourself. What do we got in here? We'll see. Anthony Kiedis. You guys know who Anthony Kiedis is? He's the singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Anthony Kiedis has announced a movie is being made about his life. Who should star in it? Yeah. I don't know. I don't think is it going to be called Blood Sugar Sex Magic? I hope it's called Blood Sugar Sex Magic because that would be great. I used to love Chili Peppers until people like Jamie Deluxe took me down these fucking rabbit holes, and now I know what I know about these people. I can't feel the same about them or their music, but yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers was kind of part of the soundtrack of my life. Speaking of soundtracks, did you guys see Tom McDonald and Ben Shapiro out there rapping together? That's right. Ben Shapiro doesn't just rap about wet ass pussies. He was rapping about non-facts. This kind of disappointed me. Facts don't care about your feelings. Facts only care about Israel's feelings. Yeah, we know it. Oh, Tom. You know, I've featured Tom over the years. He's an independent artist out of Canada. He's a rapper. This is not a good look. This is he's making a shit ton of money though. He broke the internet with it yesterday and day before. But the if you go to any of his posts, people are not happy to see Ben Shapiro being a rapper. I just got to say that. We'll hold out for the Grammy nomination. I think Tom should hold out for the Grammy nomination on this. You guys know we got lots of remakes this summer that are coming out of all these damn movies. And there's some good ones I can't wait for, like Beetlejuice 2. Do you guys know they're remaking Roadhouse? That's just sacrilegious. You cannot remake Roadhouse, especially with Jake fucking Gyllenhaal. Ew. Let's see. There's so many of them out there, but I saw this one, and I would love it if we got another Big Lebowski. The Dude Abides. I think this is just an AI generated BS, but that would be good. I would be on board for another Big Lebowski movie. I don't know about you. Would you? I would be. Breaking, Snoop Dogg says that he has nothing but love and respect for Donald Trump. Donald Trump he ain't done nothing wrong to me. He has done only great things for me. So apparently Snoop's given Trump his endorsement is what it looks like. And I wonder how Martha Stewart feels about that. And if you follow football, you know, we have a Super Bowl showdown between Kansas City and the 49ers. How boring. When you know that football is scripted, you know how the outcome's going to happen. And I predicted this a week ago that Kansas City is going to go all the way. And after they win the Super Bowl, he is going to propose to Taylor Swift because that's how it was scripted. I'm just telling you. So Taylor Swift is going to the Super Bowl, her first year being drafted. Anyone else think the NFL is rigged? Abso-fucking-lutely. Football, beer, all of the above. Gambling fills up the horizons of the mind to keep them in control with no difficulty. George Orwell, 1984. Taylor Swift. Yeah, I think she's going to get a proposal after Super Bowl. I think that's the way that they're scripted it for the season finale. I want to be a good season finale. I think it will be. It's such a bummer too, because I want to pretend that I still love football, that I'm still involved in football, and I can't do it. I can't. And you guys know I can whip some guys' asses at fantasy football. Did it for years. Let's see. Tracy Chapman to receive Lifetime Achievement Award at the 2024 International Folk Music Awards. I like that. I'm glad. I always thought she didn't get her due, right? Underrated for sure. And always talking about the plight of the people. Just go listen to her music. That's why I love her. Because you can never go wrong with folk, right? Meme Alley. I got a bunch of memes in Meme Alley. Let's check it out. What do we got? First one says, in ancient Rome, commoners would evacuate the entire city in acts of revolt called succession of the plebes, the plebeians. The elite, they'd leave the elite in the city to fend for themselves. Oh, I can't wait till we do this again. I can't. Come on. We got to do this again. The planet does not need more successful people. The planet desperately needs more peacemakers, healers, restorers, storytellers, and lovers of all kind. Yes, it does. And Sinsu says, everyone is a Fed. Yes, everyone is a Fed. Yeah, we've known that for a while now. Don't mistake it. Now, I thought this was hilarious. Good afternoon. I'm collecting used dildos and vibrators to donate to all of the bitches that need to go fuck themselves. Toys for twats? Oh, don't look so shocked, Cornell. Come on. You don't know what a dildo is? It's that frickin' university education. Remember when this was going to save your life? Oh my God, the one-way arrows in the grocery store. Did it save lives? Did it really? There was a couple times I almost threw down in the grocery store over that shit. Bitch, don't be telling me which way to walk up an aisle. Trust the government or fight a bear. Well, obviously fight a bear. That one's an easy one. I have actually seen somebody fight a bear before. I'm not even kidding. Like down south, you guys know I lived down south for a long time, and they would bring this dude that had a bear into our little village, because they called it a village, not a town, because we were too small to be a town. We were a village. And the people of the village would wrestle that damn bear. I'm not even kidding. I always felt bad for the bear too. I mean, the bear kicked everybody's ass, but I always felt bad for that bear because he was handled. Made me sad. Realizing all the stuff in your room used to be money, and all that money used to be time, and all that time used to be energy, and how years of you you have been spending all of your time, money, and energy by making a mess for yourself to clean up. Oh, isn't that the reality of it? It is. Don't spend your time, money, or energy. What do you guys think of this? So obviously this was a receipt for something where you're supposed to put the tip. She wrote in, "Don't call my honey sweetheart," and she left no tip. That's just bullshit. That is an insecure, jealous fucking person that would write that on there, obviously. Many service workers will say hun or sweetheart or, just something like that. I just think that this was rude and shows your true personality if you write something like this on it and don't give a service worker a tip. It's just rude and gross. And you might be insecure. You might be. Don't call my husband sweetheart. As a bartender for fucking years, what can I get you, sweetie? That it's just a natural fucking response when you're dealing with the public, right? I just found that wrong. And the electricity bill, oil on canvas. Oh, yes. Who's going to be filling this month after the cold snap that we just had a week ago? We are now having a record-breaking warm up. We are breaking records for the warmest we've ever been in the end of January. And just a week ago, we were the coldest we've ever been. So crazy damn weather. And the power bill is going to reflect it for most of America come the next few weeks, right? We're all going to feel this cold snap that they brought in to throw off the election. I don't really like tequila, but one shot won't hurt. 3 hours later, I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence. That is so me. Amber can attest. I'm fine till I get a couple in me. Then watch out. I really miss cheap concert tickets. I fucking do. I really do. Oh my God. Go to a concert now, and if you want a decent general admission, it's like $350. Remember when concert tickets were like $20? Yeah, it's sad. That's sad. Miss the good old days. This is not a charger. This is a charger. Yeah, that's the American way. Except for Crocodile Dundee. TikTok didn't make people dumb. TikTok just showed us who the really dumb people are. Yes. Get off short form media. Let's talk about Leonard Peltier. There's so many people that need freed, right? And we tend to focus on Julian Assange, but I wanted to kind of expand the Julian Assange section that we always cover every show, because hopefully in the next few fucking weeks, Julian Assange is going to be home with his wife and kids, and it'll be a bad fucking memory of what they did to him. But let's talk about Leonard and what they've done to him for years. Let me give you some info real fast. We'll just go back. Let's watch the video, and then I've got a couple of informational ways you can help. He actively fought against corrupt government on the Pine Ridge Reservation. Tribal government was supported by the FBI. No, yeah, we know that about. We know it. February 6, 1976, Peltier was arrested. Oh, there's evidence that exonerates him, but the government won't look at it? No way. For 4 decades, they've kept him locked up, knowing that he's innocent? Six Nobel Peace Prize nominations. What, Kim K didn't talk Trump into releasing him? Oh, that's right. So when we're out there sharing free Assange, let's be sharing a free Leonard Peltier too. So take action for freedom. 47-year political prisoner in U.S. prisons. 47 fucking years. And they have evidence that knows he was framed. Especially when you look back at what was going on in Pine Ridge with the FBI all those years, right? He is in conditions of lockdown and isolation. He has not seen a dentist in 10 years, 10 fucking years, 10 years. They have sentenced him to death by incarceration. Sometimes they have to kill us. They have to kill us because they can't break our spirit. We choose the right to be who we are. We know the difference between the reality of freedom and the illusion of freedom. There is a way to live with the earth and a way not to live with the earth. We have chosen the way of the earth. Yeah. They have chosen the way of the earth. So disheartening, right? There's still time. We've got to call, guys. I've got another Assange box on the way. I'm going to have lots of good information about this House Res 94 coming in. I just spoke to Hilo Benson yesterday. I'm excited for that, but we can still call. You can call the Progressive Caucus. It's up over on my X. You can get all of the phone numbers, or you can just call the direct switchboard, 202-224-3121. Free Assange, do not extradite, and support House Res 934. So please, let's free Assange. You guys know we've been fighting for Assange many years here. And don't forget, February 19th, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., we are doing a Twitter storm for Assange. So this will be the day before he goes to court, because court's the February 20th through the 21st, from what I understand. So in cooperation and collaboration with all of our pals in London, please join us Monday, February 19th, day before court. 3 to 6 to help us make noise and raise awareness about the Assange case. So that'll be much earlier in the day, of course, here on the West Coast. What is that? 12 o'clock? That'll be noon. So noon on the West Coast, 3 p.m. on the East Coast. Let's see. The longest filibuster in U.S. history was 75 days. It took place in 1964 when Democrats tried to block the Civil Rights Act. It could be shared. Oh, yeah. That's an old thing. I need to take that off there. But a reminder, the Democrats did try to block the Civil Rights Act. Are we shocked? No. Oh, I think we made it through this show. We had a little troll action today, but that's okay. No, I didn't block the trolls. I don't block the trolls, guys. I let them stay. If they get a little mouthy, I'll put them in timeout for how long is timeout? 180 minutes or some stupid shit. I don't know. They come back. They can come back and learn something. You know me. I always tell them to stay and learn. So, okay, I've got a big week, busy week tonight. Hopefully I'll have Jamie Deluxe on. We've been kind of hit or miss. We were supposed to do a show last week, but you know, he works and he's on the East Coast. So when he gets home, hopefully we'll get that locked down and you'll see us. I think we're going to go at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard. That'll be 10 o'clock, right? Eastern time. Yeah. Eastern time. So that'll be tonight. You can join me for that. But in other news, guess what? I'm going to join Comrade Misty Putin's buddy over on TNT Radio, TNT.com radio on Friday. So join me and Misty. I always have a good time hanging out with Misty. She's such a sweetheart and just a powerhouse when it comes to activism for Assange and getting out there and just laying the truth out, right? There's so many issues we still need to be fighting for. So I look forward to that. Let me shout out our chats before we get out of here real fast. God, we have great numbers on Mondays. Hello, Mr. Worthless Eater. I see you hanging out on the Rumble along with Ghost Start. Thank you so much. And Vahalax, let's see. I'm making sure, like, am I reading troll stuff? I don't know. Maybe sometimes I am. Hey, Miguel for Liberty. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. And Dingo ate me babies over there. And the Rokfin. Let's see who's hanging out on the Rokfin. Chris Foster's hanging out on the Rokfin along with Gregory Walker and Jim and Miss Amber King, A Brave New Future. Check it out over on the Rokfin Roar Media. You guys know we're 14 away from hitting 15K on Rokfin. So if you haven't got a Rokfin account yet, but I know most of you have, go get a Rokfin account and follow Roar Media. Help us get up to that 15K, which just proves that if we weren't shadow banned on YouTube all of these years, we would have continued to grow. But no, they keep us at 1.37K, period. You are not moving. You are not gaining. Even if we get 60 new followers in a month, they take 60 followers from us. So we stay right there. The ways of YouTube. It's so much fun. I got Gregory. Lynn. Hi, Lynn. How's it going? Lone Star. Good to see you. Who else is over here? Fred Edwards. I see Fred. And kind comments. Oh, I appreciate kind comments. Thank you so much. I appreciate that all the way around. And Chris Foster. Okay, let's get the chat real fast. DC's hanging out on the YouTubes along with Cowboy Kitty and Jilly Love. Salty's Digital Dive. Good to see you. And did I get Jilly Love? Yeah, I got Jilly Love. I'm so glad to see you, Jilly. I was worried. I was like, why haven't I seen Jilly? But maybe it's just me, you know. It's like trying to keep track of 50 kids, you know, like, oh, which one's missing? I know when you guys are missing. I can feel it. Popeye's in the chat. Along with see, I'm trying to make sure I'm not reading out the trolls. I don't want to shout out the trolls. Hey, Ozzy, what's up? Good to see you. Hey, DC, good to see you. And of course, Kate. Kate holding down the fort. Kate's always holding down the fort over on the Discord too. If you haven't had a chance, join the Discord. I don't have the link, but it's in the description below if you want it. Okay, guys, I think I'm out of here. I will see you again tonight, hopefully, for a nice little sit-down chat with Jamie Deluxe. And I will be back Wednesday morning for our regular midweek recap. And I need to go take a breath. I'm going hard trying to get you guys out as much content as possible. But hey, we're going to start the new studio too. I'm limping along in this studio, but I want to use my Stream Deck. I want my sound effects back where I can make it sound like the FBI swatting me, right? Okay, well, you guys have a great day. Have a great Monday. Have a great week. Hey, Natalie. And I've got a great closer for you guys. It's Everything Counts Depeche Mode cover. We're doing a Depeche Mode cover, but I got a great cover for tonight, so make sure you join us. You guys have a great day, and I am out of here. And remember, you are always welcome at the trailer park, even when you're trolling.
Seals the contract. From the contract, there's no turning back. The turning point of a career in Korea, being sincere. The holiday was fun packed. The contract still intact. The grabbing hands grab all they can, all for themselves after all. The grabbing hands grab all they can, all for themselves after all. It's a competitive world. Everything counts in large amounts. Tells a story of it all. Picture it now, see just how the lies and deceit gained their own power. Confidence